All right. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. And it's the last day of Pride. I am so sad. I want all the rainbow colors to stay, all the beautiful colors. I want it to stay forever. But I'm so excited for this chat today. I am Miss Ashrock, so you can call me Ashley. I am Tiltify's community manager, and we have Vanessa as well over from Tiltify staff, and we have Chris from Qweerty Gamers, and we have Jeff and Urban Bohemian, amazing creators in our community that use a Tiltify platform. So let's throw it to Vanessa to introduce herself.
By night. I work extensively with charities, make sure they get set up on the platforms and everything. And I've worked with Jeff and Urban plenty of times over the course of Pride and also just in general because they're fantastic people. And we're getting things in chat saying that they can't hear me.
Yep, we're good now. Sorry about that.
Delightful. Oh, wonderful. I don't know how much of my intro I have to redo.
Just the
How
first
unfortunate.
beginning. Sorry about that.
No,
Take it
it's
from the
fine.
top. Take it from the top.
Let's just go. Let's go. All right.
Oh my gosh. Let's start again. So yes, I'm Vanessa. I'm a charity success manager from Tiltify. I am a charity success manager by day, content creator by Pleasantly Twisted by night, and I have worked with all the wonderful people on this call on multiple occasions, and I'm very excited to be here.
Thank you, V, for joining me and co-hosting with me today. Urban Bohemian, let's learn a
Hi.
little bit about you and your community and your path as a content creator. Love to hear all about it.
Oof. That's a lot.
Yes.
Wow. I am Brian, aka Urban Bohemian, pronouns he, him. And wow, yeah, my journey as a content creator started out just kind of seeing what Twitch is all about, seeing it was kind of goofy, having kind of fun. And now it's 5 or 6 years later, and I just love doing it. I love that I can now incorporate actual scheduled time to play video games into my life because my day job is in IT and I definitely need a break from that. And I don't know, we have a very fun, I think a lot of people say comfy when they come to my channel. I mean, you're literally in my living room when I stream, I'm on my couch. So you kind of have to act right. And it's been really, I don't know, I grew up on pledge drives, like public television station pledge drives. So being able to kind of fold in charity into streaming kind of feels like you're just doing these massive pledge drives and giving people a really entertaining way to connect with charities and donate money.
Love it. Thank you so much. And what do you do in IT, if I can ask?
Oh, I'm a web developer.
Wow.
So kind of make things pretty, kind of make things work behind the scenes.
You are just multi-talented. Okay, look at you. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Thank you. Let's throw it to Jeff as well. Introduce yourself. All
Hello.
right, talk about your community.
Can't wait. Hello, everybody. My name is Jeff. I am a full-time streamer. Typically, we do lots of different kinds of like first playthroughs of story-driven games. I love horror games. It's actually how I started because I was a little too afraid to play spooky games by myself at that time. And now I just make like weird, sarcastic comments at everything in scary games because whatever. Lots of, much like Brian, we keep things comfy, cozy. Much focused on being a queer safe space on Twitch. And I've loved starting to use my platform a little more to like regularly do charity streams because I think, especially after some of my first ones on the platform, it's just like the amount of reach you can have by being on a platform, you know, that has that, you know, is accessible by so many people. Just you don't realize how much reach that has until you actually do it. And then I was just blown away.
Wow, thank you so much, Jeff. We're so happy to have you here today. And you're doing amazing things with your community. And we're just so happy to have you a part of the Tiltify community. Seriously, thank you to both of you.
Thank you.
And I'm so excited. We have Chris. Chris, introduce yourself and your role at Qweerty Gamers.
Hi, I'm Chris. I use any pronouns. I am one of the full-time volunteers at Qweerty. I am the treasurer as well as the community, or I guess influencer manager. I also edit all the videos for Qweerty. And recently I've started handling all of the specifically Dead by Daylight tournaments as of I think 2 months ago. So it's definitely been a lot of fun.
Wow. So you're doing all the DVD stuff. That is a game I am not good at, but I enjoy it a lot.
I mean, honestly,
Neither am I.
Same.
I don't think anyone's truly good at Dead by Daylight.
Like, you can look at my rank, and honestly, I'm just carried throughout the entire time.
And I can only play as Huntress since I play FPS games, so that's the only killer I can do, you know?
I recently picked up Huntress, and she's so much fun.
So fun, right?
Especially when you can get somebody from, like, all the way from the other side of the map. It's just so satisfying.
So can you tell us some more about Qweerty Gamers, Chris?
Of course.
And the mission?
So our mission is to create more representation and visibility and inclusivity within the gaming industry for all LGBTQ people, you know, whether it's within games or inside of the actual industry, people working, voice acting, developers, coders, and all that kind of stuff. We just want to be able to see more of ourselves in the gaming industry, so that way we can, you know, relate more to the games.
Wow. I found out about Qweerty Gamers this year and I was like, wow, I've never heard of them. I love this. I can't wait to support this cause. You're doing amazing work, and the Unify for Pride events you did this month have been absolutely incredible. And can you tell us a little bit about the events that you did for Unify for Pride?
So what we did, one of the events, the most recent one was the Dead by Daylight tournament, and we reached out to a bunch of different streamers to help us with the Unified for Pride. They're streamers from all different kinds of communities. We have like Weo Theo, some of the smaller streamers, and then we have other streamers like Kiki Heels from Rainbow Arcade. Oh my God, there's so many people. Sushi Monster, Call the Flower. I could go on and on. The list is, I can't remember everybody, but we had like a team fundraiser, and it's been a lot of fun to work with all the different streamers that we usually work with, and a bunch of new streamers that we haven't worked with before, like Laurie Bird and Hydro. So it's been amazing. They've all been such amazing people.
Oh, that just warms my heart. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Chris. We appreciate it. I can't stop smiling because this month makes me so happy. Like
Same.
oh, I love it. And are there any more games that you plan to do with these events other than DBD?
So I'm not gonna lie, my knowledge as far as games go is like Breath of the Wild, Pokemon, and Dead by Daylight. I played a little bit of Overwatch. It was a little too intense for me, like graphically, so I haven't played since. Maybe I'll pick it up. But one of our volunteers, It's So Callie, who's in chat right now, actually has mentioned doing a tournament of like a fighting game, like, you know, Street Fighter or something, Mortal Kombat, something around that, Smash Brothers, and we'd really love to do some different games for tournaments, so that way, you know, we can broaden it, make it of a like different interests for everybody.
Ooh, that sounds like fun. I am not good at fighting games. How about y'all? Are y'all good at fighting games?
I'm very
Back in the-
mediocre. Yeah,
I don't know. In the
see,
arcade days, like
yes.
like in the stand-up cabinets, maybe, but no, I don't know now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I remember playing tons of Tekken on my PS1. Like Tekken 3,
Oh yeah.
it was nasty. But that was also when I was 14. So I might be just a touch rusty, just a little bit.
You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. I played so much Soul Calibur, I think, and it was like the kind. Oh my gosh, it was the one that came out for PS2 and GameCube, I think. Like
Soul
the ones
Calibur
that had
3.
like 3. There we go.
Yes.
And
Vanessa
I
knows.
I do.
I always thought I was so good at them. I was like, oh my God, I love this. I'm so good. And then I'd bring a friend over and I would just like get my just wiped all over the floor, and I'd be like, I guess I'm not good. But you know what? I had fun. So like I would throw myself in the ring for charity.
Yeah.
I am
charity.
only good at Smash. I think I can keep up in Tekken, but Smash I'm pretty good at. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. So
Tekken and
Smash.
Soul Calibur were mine of choice.
Mhm.
Who's your main in Smash?
Ooh, Roy.
Ooh,
Yep.
solid
Okay.
choice.
Yep. Yeah.
There's a
Mhm.
lot of people I know who would be very upset right now, and that's okay. 'cause
Wow.
they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
I love Roy. I said, okay, yep. I actually feel like decent at a game finally. But
Yeah.
hopefully that gave you some ideas, Chris, for your next tournament, Smash.
I
Yeah.
mean, we're open to any possibilities. Like if we can turn it into a tournament somehow, let's do it.
Yes.
Because
Thank
it's
you
all for
so
charity.
much. Yes. Thank you. So let's throw it to Urban Bohemian. Can you tell us a little bit about your identity and how did you get here today?
Well, I got here very easily because I haven't been anywhere for like a year and a few months. So that was really easy. Let's see. I kind of identify as queer, although it's gay and queer interchangeably, but I feel like queer feels more right lately. And honestly, not I don't know. Like I feel like I've always been out on the internet, even before content creation, just whatever social media there was. So there was never a point when I wasn't out. But honestly, being able to be out on Twitch, I've talked to other content creators and they have that moment of, oh, here's when I came out on Twitch. And it's like I've kind of always been out. If you didn't know, if all the rainbows and the comments and the sass and the thirst wasn't like a big tip off, then I don't know what to tell you. So it's been really good. We kind of have cultivated viewers and community that are they're accepting. We cultivate a safe space. We let each other talk about issues, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And like every time I turn the camera on, it's a blast.
Oh, my heart is singing. And I know there's so many creators that have been influenced by creators like you that are open and out and that have helped them, find themselves as well. So big ups to you,
Yikes!
Urban. Yeah. No. You have
No yikes.
influenced so many people to find themselves. So I'm proud of all the work you do. And Tiltify, they're very proud. So thank you. Same question goes for you, Jeff.
Oh, yeah. So I've been out myself for oh gosh, a little over 10 years now. I identify as a gay and non-binary. The non-binary realization was gosh, I want to say about a year ago now. It was whenever the last International Non-Binary Day was, because I remember just like reading through people's threads. And I think this is why like when you're out and just like talking about identity online, whether it's Twitch, wherever you are, it's so nice to see people's experiences and like see them talk about it. Because I was just scrolling through Twitter that day and just like, like this is interesting. So then I had this moment where I actually I Googled, how do I know if I'm non-binary? And I was like, that's probably how I know. So yeah, and then it just came into that, and it's been nice because like I came out as gay before coming into Twitch and before the internet became like this whole big community and like sub communities in that. But being non-binary is something that I've come out to my community and then like have just kind of gone on this journey almost publicly in a sense. So it's been really interesting to express that and then hear people be like, oh, that actually kind of helped me realize things about my own identity, and then also hear things from other people and be like, oh, that makes sense about my own too. So it's just become a nice like community. I don't want to say effort because it almost makes it seem like it's like a push to figure this out, but more so like a community round table of like us just like figuring things out together.
Oh, I love that. Oh, so another question for this would be how really I want to ask what steps and what things are you taking with your communities to help influence their path and helping them with getting their basically what are you doing with your community to help with this and helping your community with identity and everything?
I think what we're trying to get towards, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this,
No, yeah.
is what are some things that this is for Jeff and Urban that you do in your community to help people feel comfortable and safe to have those
Yes.
discussions and
Thank you.
realizations that there's somebody that's queer? Like I had the same thing Jeff did, where the day I've caught myself being like, am I asexual? It kind of ran through for a minute. I was like, nah, maybe it's, yeah, it was about 10 years later. I was like, I should have just went with the first gut response on that Google search, huh?
Yeah. It's funny how that works.
And we can start with you, Urban.
I think one thing is, when people we have a lot of people who, I feel like you always have those people who initially are asking questions, and they're asking questions in good faith, and sometimes they're asking other people to answer those because they have those questions about themselves. And part of it is, almost there are very few topics of conversation that are that are off limits. We try to make sure that everybody is kind and compassionate, and we take everybody at face value initially, unless you're a troll, in which case then you can go. And we also kind of pair it up with channels in Discord, because sometimes you can't have like a cohesive chat in Twitch, so you may have channels to talk about. And another thing is trying to just pick games, a lot of either major or indie titles that have LGBTQIA plus content, because that makes it a lot easier for people to see, and it makes it a lot easier for those conversations to kind of spark, seeing it in that art. But for the most part, it's just kind of keeping those lines of communication open, and essentially, I feel like the safe space is also something that gets thrown around a lot, but it's true. Like, your channel can be a safe space for people to talk about issues that are affecting them, talk back and forth. The biggest thing that helped lately is the pronouns extension, and now realizing that they're going to start adding those in. That's let a lot of people feel more comfortable, feel more valid in chat. So there's a lot of things, but yeah, I would say mostly that we can just come in and talk about almost whatever, and that helps a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Urban. We'll throw that same question to you, Jeff.
I think for me, something I kind of stick to when it comes to identity is very much like, anything you feel regarding yours is valid. And I try to make sure that message is, a big thing in my channel, because if people are going to want to come in and if they feel comfortable talking about their identity, I don't want them to feel judged for whatever, they might be feeling in regards to it. Because more often than not, as long as, their views aren't like harming anybody, it's all valid. Like, what we feel in our identities is something that like we should feel comfortable being able to talk through. And something I've found that's been kind of challenging that a little bit, as far as like how we talk about especially gender, is I've been starting to do makeup at least once a week on my channel, because it's still one of those things. I think we even just had a conversation recently where someone who is male presenting in my channel was talking about an experience, how they went to go buy makeup from a store, and they were asking, "Oh, is this for your girlfriend?" So it's like, very much like, doing this, learning a new hobby that is more typically for, feminine presenting people, and like that starting to spur more conversations about how you can challenge gender and how you can look at your own identity. And even though you might not be a different identity than what you might have thought before, you can still kind of start challenging those norms and realizing that, however you express yourself is valid.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jeff. And Chris, I know you are a creator as well, outside of your role at Qweerty. Can that question relate to you as well with your community?
I think so. I think my presence is more like in other people's chats, like other streamers. Sometimes mine, like, you know, helping people just understand or realize, like, you know, your identity is valid, and like however you want to present yourself is how you want to present yourself. Like, who cares what other people have to say? If you want to wear eyeliner and some pretty eyeshadow, like, go for it, even if people don't think that's male presenting or whatever. And, you know, just be you. Like myself, I don't care if something is for women or for men. Like, if I'm at the store and I think it's cute, I'm gonna buy it. Like, I don't care. I got my Winnie the Pooh onesie from the women's section, but I still love it.
I love Winnie the Pooh.
I was going to say, that's like Ash's entire branding.
Entire branding.
I love that.
Gonna need a link to that onesie later on, I think. Okay.
Yeah, me
Yes.
too. I need a new one.
I think I got it at Target. I don't know if they still have it, especially because it's summer. It's summer, so like every time I go to Target, I'm like, let me go see if they have onesies. Let me go see if they have some new onesies. But like, it's summer, so they have absolutely nothing that's warm.
It's always Target.
Always.
It is. I mean, always. Yeah.
Target knows how to get you like in every section of the store.
Right. Winnie the Pooh onesies, March on Ramen t-shirts, good Marvel shirts. I'm like, I just can't believe this.
Oh my gosh.
Can't believe this.
Southern Hemisphere. Oh yeah, it's winter for the Southern Hemisphere. Yeah, we have to go shopping in the Southern Hemisphere.
Let's go.
Everything. We need
Taking
all
a trip.
Stuff.
Australia, here we come.
I did kind of want to throw this out as a general thing to most all of us on the call while we have good spirits and everything, because we've been talking about making the space safe for more queer content creators and safe for more queer charity fundraisers. But we haven't asked, Ash and I haven't asked yet, what exactly does Pride mean to you? But we're going to start with Qweerty Gamers because we haven't started with you in a while.
Oh gosh. Hi, Smokey.
Hi, Smokey.
Oh, hey,
Smokey says
Smokey.
hi.
Oh.
He wants to come and say
Guest
what Pride means to him
appearance.
too.
Yes, Pride. Smokey can be a part of this conversation as
Yes,
well.
but you need to wait your turn because it's Chris's turn.
Correct.
So for myself, it always reminds me of, you know, the Stonewall riots and how without that happening, we probably wouldn't be where we are. Like, we've progressed so much. The WHO removed being, you know, homosexual as a mental illness from, you know, whatever sort of encyclopedia or what definition they have of what is considered a mental illness. And that's what I think of, at least that's what Pride Month reminds me of. Like, we should all be proud and everything, but we should also always be proud year round regardless. So like, for myself, Pride doesn't end when June ends. For myself, Pride is like year round. It's just Pride Month helps me remember, like, none of this would have happened without people like Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia. So at least for myself, that's what Pride Month means to me.
That's very, very the main meaningful moment. Oh my God, the main pivotal moment of Pride is that day where Marsha and Sylvia just said they were done with it. But now we're gonna go ahead and switch over to Jeff and Smokey. I'm including Smokey in this.
Nice.
Make sure.
Smokey's just is like, be gay and eat snacks because I love snacks. Love that.
So Pride for Smokey is snacks.
Love that. Kind of going off of what Chris said about Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia, you know, I think of that and I think of, you know, Pride being a protest and very much a protest in being like, we're done adhering to what the majority wants us to be, what they expect from us. I remember growing up and like, oh my gosh, I remember so many people just being like, I just wish they wouldn't do that in public, you know? And it's such a dehumanizing thing to hear. And so I think of Pride in a very much a demanding space for us to be ourselves. Because I think even sometimes within the community, we can get critiques from other like identities and other people being like, you know, you're not doing it right, or you're not gay enough, you're not this enough. But I think Pride is definitely, a celebration of the fact that us as a community is still like, we're different from the majority, but that doesn't make us any less valuable or any less like worthy of representation. And I think for, in a more individualized experience, it's for us to do what we want to do, not really like trying to follow like what anybody's putting in front of us as far as like what they expect from our identities, but more so just being who we are unapologetically.
Nice, very nice. And I see Smokey is still on his journey for snacks. It's okay.
It's okay. He's licking the sweat off my palms.
Bayonetta is relieved for now.
Yes. He'll come for her soon, though. I bet.
And then how about you, Urban? What is Pride for you?
I honestly, I can easily piggyback off of Chris and Jeff in that it means, Pride is a protest. Pride is an activist. It's an activist movement and an action. And it's also about history. It's also about education. It's telling those stories again and again and not letting people forget that. I think watching Billy Porter talk about being out and also disclose, his HIV status and his words about needing to remember that like we lost an entire generation to this and not forgetting that history. And, the fact that we know, admittedly, I watch Pose, I get emotional because there's some stuff that a lot of us didn't know was going on at all. And you kind of just learned now, but also like noticing how we are getting better. For me, Pride started with 3 letters and now we are finally being way more inclusive of everybody. Call it the alphabet, be sarcastic if you want, but we've been doing work on inclusion. Just yesterday, somebody saw the Pride flag behind me and said, wait, what are the black and brown stripes, man? And I was able to explain when Philly made that move and why there was such a problem with certain people about it. And how we start having those conversations about inclusiveness and, realizing essentially bringing everybody in and letting everybody feel like Pride is for them too. It's not just for, the cisgender gay white man, because that's usually what you see on all the floats and all the magazines and all the shows. And realizing that everyone's story should be told, which, so just like Pride for me is giving, like in everything else I do, it's kind of giving everybody a seat at this table. And like this month is for you. These 12 months a year are for you. And yeah, be out and be loud about it because, that's the only way you're really going to get noticed. It's like they said, Sylvia and Marsha basically said, we're fed up. And you don't always have to throw a brick. Sometimes you can, it's just about wearing a different flag. That's cool too. You don't always have to throw a brick. You can. I am not advocating violence unless it's against the patriarchy, in which case you do you. But yeah, just to be out and loud and proud and belong. And yeah, like people said, if someone says you're doing Pride wrong, they're wrong. If someone says you don't belong at a celebration, they're wrong. Because they chances are haven't done their homework, don't know their history, and everybody in their friend group looks exactly like them.
Yeah,
I think that's an excellent point.
Exactly. I'm gonna carry a brick from now on.
Just keeping a brick in your side bag just in case. This is my just in case brick, and it's gonna have a sticky note on it that says JIC.
I love that idea.
I'm
down. Wait, now I'm down with it. Wait a second.
No. And bringing it back just a little bit. So I actually wanted to pivot and segue into why we're all here today, and that's about Unify for Pride. Unify for Pride. So this was the first big event that I think Tiltify has put on, and Ash obviously has been pivotal in making sure that everything ran butter smooth and doing everything for all the socials and everything else. But we wanted to ask you, while we have you all here, what did Unified for Pride mean for you? What did you think of it? How did you enjoy it? Did you get a lot of actual additional traction from it? Did it give you a chance to spread more messages? What did it mean for you?
I think
we got two people at the same time going.
I honestly, my Pride fundraising was a little bit lower key because I had done so much previously, but I had members on teams who were raising money for the Unified for Pride charities. I was involved. I mean, it's June, so you're always involved in something. I was involved in a lot of things raising money for Unified for Pride charities, and I donated a lot of money this past month because it's like you always want to support people when they're doing this and when they're doing good. But I think it's fantastic. Like, what a way to essentially showcase all of these really great and deserving charities doing really good work, and you kind of put it under one massive thing. So yeah, I felt like it was so much easier for people to find something that they liked and do it under this unified banner. Yeah.
And then Jeff, you look like you want to add something to that, maybe?
I had something, yeah. I think what was really cool is like just the fact that there were so many different charities involved in this event. I think when it comes to raising money for Pride Month, especially, I think especially if you're on Twitch a lot, like you kind of like, there's like those main few that you end up like being like, oh, we can raise money for that, or we can raise money for that instantly come to your head. But I think what was nice about Unified for Pride is it left like it kind of opened up to be like, hey, there are all these amazing other charities you can help raise money for too, depending on certain subsects that you might want to like help out. I think for me, what I ended up doing, which is actually not something I ended up thinking I was going to do, is I ended up inviting some other queer creators to be on that stream with me. So we all ended up playing a lot more Mario Party than I thought we were going to.
Oh.
But it was really fun.
The joy of that just got sapped away immediately.
Yeah, it was funny. It's like I invited like a bunch of queer creators that I've like had several conversations with before. So it was people that like, I had like already like an existing connection with. So like for me, it was like, oh, this is great. But some of them were meeting for the first time and like just annihilating each other in Mario Party. But all for a really good cause. So it was a really good time. It was a nice chance to like lift up other creators.
May I offer up your next time you do that something less violent, Overcooked?
Oh no, Overcooked.
Less violent?
Overcooked still ruins friendships. Okay, let me tell you, if you've not been hit in the face with sushi from across the kitchen because someone can't stop throwing, all right?
Fish, and then you're walking across the street, you get ran over.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just saying.
What kind of Overcooked are y'all playing?
I mostly
have you not gotten to the higher levels? Because you have to walk across the street to serve the plate, and you get ran over by cars.
And there's always one player who's always about chaos. Like they are not there to play with anyone. They are always about chaos.
I'm chaotic.
Yes.
I'm chaotic.
That's me.
I'm like, boil the rice here. I'm throwing everything. Chop it, cook it. So Overcooked is way more violent, Vanessa.
Before we get too far off tangent, Qweerty Gamers, what would you like to add? My entire perception of Overcooked is just ruined. I had so much fun when I played. The most chaotic was I just said, grab these floor noodles. And John was like, what's a floor noodle? And I was like, it's noodles on the floor. What do you mean? I put the noodles on the floor. Come grab them.
Oh, I love Overcooked, but it's my brain just moving like at 100 miles per hour, just like the whole time. Nothing else exists. I'm sorry.
Qweerty Gamers, what would you like to add about Unified for Pride?
So much going on right now. I heard Smokey in the background and I could have swore it was Ray's cat because she's constantly crying for something.
Smokey too.
But for us, I thought it was really cool that Tiltify approached Qweerty Gamers to be a part of this. It was really awesome. It was like, all of our hard work isn't going unnoticed. Like people are starting to help us out and everything and being included with all these amazing, LGBTQ plus organizations like Trevor Project and Trans Lifeline and all that. Like it feels validating, it feels like we're actually helping to make a difference and people also want to see us help make a difference. So it's been really nice to help lift each other up instead of, just fundraising for yourself, like for my own fundraiser is pretty low key also, because I'm not like a huge content creator. My main role was more so trying to, help other content creators be like Jeff actually, one of the first people that actually responded to my email actually, that started to help us fundraise, and it's been so amazing, all the support the different content creators have brought to not just help Qweerty itself, but to fundraise for all 12 organizations. So like, it's helping to unify us essentially, because we're all fighting for the same thing. We all want more LGBTQ rights, representation, and inclusivity, which it's what Qweerty is about. Specifically, I mean, in general, but we focus in gaming, the gaming industry. But all around, we just want everybody to feel included.
I love that.
Nice.
And I really, really enjoyed the Unify for Pride event. One, I was able to work on it. Two, I think it's amazing that you can do one fundraiser supporting all 12 causes at once. And I hope we have more events like that in the future, especially with all the good feedback we are getting. So thank you all for that amazing feedback. And to kind of piggyback with Qweerty Gamers, I want to talk more, Chris, about how funds directly support Qweerty Gamers.
Ooh, so for anybody who might not know, we have a microgrant program that is actually trying to help support people breaking into the industry, regardless of what you're going to do in the gaming industry, as long as you're trying to create more inclusivity and representation, whether it's behind the scenes or in the forefront in the actual games, we want to help support people get to that, that goal. And we're always trying to come up with new and different programs to help people in the LGBTQ community to progress in everything, which brings me to, there has been a project program I've been working on for quite some time, and it's almost ready to be announced. And I think that's all I can pretty much say about it, but it's coming soon, and I'm really excited about it. And it's geared directly towards content creators. So I really hope that people are able to benefit from this program.
Perfect. And are there multiple different grants? I know we have the Victoria Kennedy micro grant. Is there any other grants that Qweerty offers?
Right now, that's just the only one,
Okay.
because we are a smaller organization, and up until, because Tiltify approached us, we've really kicked it into high gear. It's been really helpful getting our name out there, getting people to help us fundraise, and like a bunch of different content creators we've never approached before that have started also fundraising for us. So it's been amazing, the support we've been getting. And because of all this new and amazing support, we're hoping, we can increase either the amount of people we're able to support with the grant, or increase the amount we're able to grant to people, because I think it's about 30-ish% of everything we make goes towards the grant. And the grant is only at $500 per quarter, which says a lot about how much revenue we bring in. But this month has been phenomenal. It's like, I don't know if we'd be here at the point we are right now if Tiltify, like if both of you didn't help us out, like if you didn't approach us, if you didn't consider us. Like, that's amazing. I really appreciate it. It's amazing, and thank you, of course, for noticing us.
That's so heartwarming.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry. Y'all know I'm emotional.
I was trying not to tear at myself, because the support I can't fathom it, you know?
No, really.
Just kind of sitting there like,
I don't want the lashes to fall off. Okay.
oh,
That's fair. That's
Just
fair.
we gotta
Yeah.
talk. Okay,
I was
we'll
gonna
go back
say
to,
cry harder, but that's fine.
Yeah.
well, we can just bring it back. Just go back to thinking about being chaotic and overcooked, and you won't cry anymore. There you go.
The
You're safe.
chaotic person.
Yes.
Just bringing the chaos.
Throw those rice balls. It's fine. Yeah. There you go.
I'm never. Don't make fun of my floor noodles, okay? I had a point to make. I had the noodles on the floor, therefore they're floor noodles.
That's an organization method in Overcooked. So it's valid.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I mean, okay. Okay.
Taking
works.
notes, Urban.
I played Overcooked with people who are good in the kitchen and who've worked in kitchens. And it's just the people who are just there to have fun, and then the people who are basically like, we are barking or like, this is ready, get this, get the go.
Hi, you remember how on our last podcast I said I've been bartending for 8 years? Hi, yeah, I also waited tables.
Yup.
It's me. I'm the bully in the kitchen. What are you doing?
Yeah.
The floor noodles need to go before the chopped salad. What are you doing?
Oh my god.
This is now an overcooked chat, okay?
No, oh my gosh, no.
Yes.
Oh, something that didn't get touched on. How can you volunteer for Qweerty Gamers?
Oh, we, of course, our website, we do have a bunch of, Ray actually posts in not just the website, but also the Discord, and sometimes posts on like Facebook and Twitter through the Qweerty account, letting people know like what can we use help on. And there's so much specifically Ray that does within the organization, and it gets a little difficult to keep up with everything. Like even myself, I don't handle nearly as much as he does, and I still get a little overwhelmed, but I still do it because I care about our community. I want us to see us all succeed. I want us to see us all feel like we belong, you know? So like if you do want to volunteer, you can check out the website, and we have, there's a bunch of different stuff you can volunteer for. You don't need to give a certain amount of hours. You don't need to be you don't need to have past experience. You just have to show that you're passionate about the mission and trying to make more representation and inclusiveness for our whole community, like everybody.
And Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, you did start off as a volunteer for Qweerty, correct?
I did, yes.
That's awesome.
So it was a little bit after their first year anniversary, which is actually coming up in September. It's also when I first met Ray. He didn't really talk too much about it, but he mentioned it, he brought it up and stuff, and I was just like, you know what? I've volunteered at the LGBTQ Center in LA because the community is something I'm passionate about. I want people to grow up feeling like they're accepted, that they're not a pariah or something. And that's when I kind of threw myself into the organization. And as like I'm always trying to think of different ways we can reach out more, and that's when I was just like, why don't I join the board? Like I'm here for the long haul. Like I know it's gonna be rough for a few years, because that's just it's kind of like a business. You're not going to see a whole lot of progress in the first few years, but if you keep working at it, you're going to start seeing that progress.
Perfect.
So
nice to hear about your path. That is awesome. Thank you. And I wanted to circle it back to our creators. Both of them wanted to speak with Qweerty Gamers today, and I wanted to ask you, how does this cause resonate with you? And we can start with Urban.
For me, it's that anything, any organization that is working towards inclusivity in the games industry, especially like video games, are something like it's weird. It runs in my family's blood. Like every like mom, dad, brother, like we're all got that Pac-Man. Like we're all hooked on it. But the fact that now we can play games and see ourselves in games, and the fact that there are now developers and studios that are purposely writing that content in and purposely making these characters. So anything that gives them more access into the industry, and that's working on inclusion is important to me. So any organization that can basically spearhead that is fantastic.
Perfect. Thank you, Urban. And we'll throw that same question to you, Jeff.
What definitely resonates with me about Qweerty Gamers is I'm so outspoken about representation. And I think representation definitely starts with who's working on the pieces of representation. And with Qweerty Gamers being so focused on getting that representation in the industry, I think that's what, I have goals related to being, like creating my own like stamp of approval on video games, writing stories for video games. Like I think being able to see more, people within the LGBTQIA community working on games, I think that's one of the most powerful ways for us to actually get our voice out there and get, the representation that we've wanted since we started playing video games.
Wow. And Qweerty, just want to let y'all know you're doing an amazing job, and all the work you're doing is so fulfilling to see. So thank you, Chris, and the rest of your team. Seriously, we appreciate it.
Of course. Like I'm speechless. Like I don't know what to say. I hope we're able to, I want to be, especially like AAA titles, I want to see more of our community featured in those AAA titles.
Yes, please.
Like showing people we're here, we exist, we're not going anywhere.
Exactly. And I bet your role at Qweerty is just so fulfilling on a day-to-day basis. You get to work with these creators that want to support Qweerty, and I know your emotions. I can feel your emotions. I can feel them. Okay? I am a Libra. I am dramatic, but I feel them. Yes, it's a zodiac. You know, it's Libras. We're balanced, but we're very emotional. Okay? So, Chris, I can totally relate with you, especially in a community management position. I get to work with amazing creators like Urban and Jeff as well. And I love the internet. I love Twitch. I love Tiltify. Put all those things together, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, seriously, thank you. I can't say it enough, but all your work that you're doing, we see it, we appreciate it, and we're just going to support you all the time, every day, every second.
I'm just glad people are benefiting. That's literally all I ask for.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
That's it.
I just have to say though, like I appreciate Tiltify so much because it makes it so much easier for us to run these events and to do these things, and it is so hands off. Like I've worked with charities before they got on Tiltify, and it was still smooth, but it felt a weird way having to handle the donations yourself. And Tiltify, it's like, okay, I signed up, I joined it, there's a link. It's so much easier. And the fact is, it makes it a lot easier to connect with charities that y'all have already reached out to and vetted. So like the Unified for Pride event, it was just so easy to be like, oh, let me check. Oh, they're all doing good stuff. Okay. Like that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah, very exciting. And I think this Pride Month has been one of the best. As an ally, I was just very happy this entire month. Had Pride decorations, everything, fundraising. It was just great. So I'm sure we'll do this next year again, for sure. Maybe get more causes involved as well. That would be absolutely incredible. We're going to close out with a great question for our creators and Chris as well, or even Vanessa. You can also touch on this as well. How would you tell allies to support the
That face,
LGBT?
like, oh.
Hold on.
How would you all tell allies to support the LGBTQIA plus community outside of Pride Month? And how can it continue to uplift you? We can start with... Oh, who wants to start?
I mean,
I see Urban with some thoughts.
I was about to say, like, yeah, give us money. That's my favorite response to that question.
I can do the aggregated list because I think I can cover all of it, and anything I miss, everyone can jump in on.
Boom.
Retweet our streams, like our content, engage our content, follow us, sub to us, give us money. I know a lot of people will look at that kind of weird, but monetarily helping is the best way to do it. Giving us money directly, giving money to organizations that say they help us directly. All the people who are part of Unify for Pride are trying to put money back into the communities. Those are the ones that you want to focus on, because getting money into our spaces is going to be what allows us to actually engage more, actually do more work, bring on more people to build bigger efforts, do bigger Unify for Pride campaigns. And who knows, maybe we actually will see some AAA developers pushing out queer content that actually is consulted and worked with well and has queer people working on it. It all starts with those small things I just listed. Uplift us in any way, shape, or form. And I understand not everybody has money. It's me. I'm the broke person. But even doing those small things like retweets, follows, subs, letting your friends know, hey, I found this really dope queer content creator. They're raising money for awesome causes. They brought me in, like got me on with Tiltify and everything else. You should check them out.
Mm-hmm.
All of that stuff, the whole thing, the whole ball.
You did it all. Thank you, Vanessa. I'm sure we have some more to add to that. Urban,
wow.
you're thinking.
Wow. I'm sitting here like, okay, yeah, like hit it, check.
It's like I talk about this a lot.
It right? I think, to piggyback on the support, essentially find those queer content creators yourself, hang out in their spaces, see what they're about, support our work, support our joy. Don't only come around when we're talking about discrimination, and educate yourself all the time. Sometimes the best way to be an ally is simply to have that understanding and have that support that you've gone and done the work for yourself, and you're not relying on a marginalized person to basically teach you how to be a better person. And I think that overall that just helps you be more supportive. So sometimes people are really like, they want a big coming out moment with their friends, but sometimes all we really want is we want that coming out moment and be like, all right, cool. Like that understanding, that level of understanding from our friends that's a big thing you can do. But also money.
But also money.
Money is probably the best and most effective.
Yeah. So for me, like I would like basically retweet on Vanessa's list because like super great. But kind of to expand on like some things that she pointed out, like definitely like if you don't have the money, like even though that is definitely the best way to help creators and charities, like I come from a social media background, so I cannot even begin to tell you the importance of a retweet, and even just like maybe a quick little reply, if you got one, because social media algorithms thrive off of how much engagement it gets. And I know some people are like, I only have like one follower. Okay, do it anyway. Like
that's plus one person that's getting involved.
It's plus one person that's getting involved. It's plus one more interaction that, whatever social media platform you're doing it on, like sees like, oh, this post is getting a lot of engagement. We should show it to other people. And as far as that also, if you're going to be like working or like kind of doing something for the community, make sure you're consulting the community. Make sure you're not consulting just like your gay best friend. Make sure you're consulting the whole community. Make sure you're representing the entire community, because there's a lot of us and we don't all look the same and we don't all have the same experience. So if you're gonna do something for the community, make sure you're doing it for the whole community.
I think that's why another thing that you can do if you're in the no money camp, get involved with companies and organizations like Qweerty. They take volunteers. Help. Get in there. just straight up sign up on the forums and stuff. They said in chat they're going to be putting up a Google form soon. Get on the forum, get involved, show up and say, where do you need me? I can assure you they will have plenty for you to do.
And there's going to be more coming up. There's going to be a lot more coming up. I guess I'll add for allies, like you all said before, you know, donations are always appreciated, but just like many of us here, I am also quite broke. So like simple retweets and stuff like that, and even leaving a lurk on a queer person's stream, that still helps them. That helps their algorithms. That brings them, it's not a lot, but it still helps them bring some ad revenue. It helps them go towards becoming a bigger content creator and giving them more visibility and stuff. And like there have been some allies that I also myself watch streaming, and they're extremely, extremely passionate supporters of the queer community. Like they will raid people from like all parts of the queer community, not just like gay, lesbian and stuff, but also like transgender people, non-binary people, and they always retweet stuff. And that's even if you don't think it's going to make a huge difference, it makes a big difference to our community.
It really does.
It really, and that's what we're about. We're just trying to get more visibility, and like the more allies that help us out, then the better. And even in ally streams themselves, the way you can help us out is be accepting of us, you know? Like if somebody comes in and tries to say some like homophobic slur or whatever, shut them down immediately. Just be like, no, that's not allowed. And just kick them out if you need to, like, or educate them. Like the best thing to do instead of like being malicious is to educate them, because if you be malicious, then they're going to be even more they're going to give more hatred towards our community. So like we want to try to educate them rather than, you know, remove them from the community, because we would love their help also.
Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone, for your, for your pointers there. Seriously, thank you. And we are all done, and I'm so sad. But what's important right now is to tell the community how we can find you, Urban Jeff, okay? And tell us your socials and everything, okay? So we'll start with...
You want to go? You go first. Why don't you go first?
You go first, Jeff.
Okay, I'll go first. Okay. So yeah, my name is Jeff Brutlag, which is where you can find me everywhere on Twitch, on Twitter, on Instagram. I've been posting TikToks fairly regularly recently, so those have also been fun. I also have a website, jeffbrutlag.com, which has not been contributing to my blog there as much, but I'm gonna get back onto writing more regularly, because gosh darn it, the writing side of my heart she's been sad. So we'll be getting back to that. But yeah, and I have my final push for raising money for Outright International this afternoon. So if anyone would like to stop by, that would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Perfect. Urban.
Yeah. And as I said, I am Brian, aka Urban Bohemian, pretty much everywhere except on TikTok, where it's like an _TT, which I'm still mad about. But pretty much, yeah, you can see me tweeting awful opinions about comic books, pictures of food on Instagram. And I feel like Jeff just came for me on the whole like .com. Like I have a blog, but writing has been very difficult to do.
Listen.
It's the whole thing. Yeah. But yeah, Urban Bohemian everywhere. And yeah, mostly doing the thing on Twitch.
Perfect. Thank you. And Chris, I don't know if you want to share your stream and everything.
I mean, I'm not a big streamer. I just jump on because, you know, it's fun playing with the community.
No,
Mm-mm,
no,
yeah,
no,
nope,
no,
nope,
no,
nope.
no.
Just go.
If
Go
you
for
if
it.
you wanna
Restart.
find me, go to Qweerty Gamers, follow their social. I host a lot of different events, so if you want to find me, you can find me there. So exactly, we're we're going to be having a Minecraft night with all the volunteers later this month. And then we did a Dungeons and Dragons campaign last week, which was a lot of fun. It was my very first time playing Dungeons and Dragons. I had absolutely no idea what was going on, but I still had a blast. And we're going to be having another one sometime soon. We haven't planned it yet, but we're going to be talking to our dungeon master because she is amazing. She knows everything there is to Dungeons and Dragons. So she's going to be our dungeon master again. And yeah, hopefully we have more information on that soon.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing with us, Chris. And it's been a pleasure having you all here. Thank you for taking time out of your day to chat with us all. And
Thank you so much for
chat,
having me.
Thank you.
of course, chat, make sure you are uplifting your queer creators, okay? And make sure you're following them, retweeting, all that good stuff, okay? It goes a long way. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me.
Mhm.
So, yep, this was our last Pride chat, and it's the last day of Pride. So, have a blast for your last day, okay? And of course, after this month, all right, I'm gonna keep my rainbows and decorations up because it just
Heck
makes me
yeah.
happy.
Oh,
It
yeah.
just
Yeah.
makes me
Oh,
happy.
absolutely.
Okay. So we are going to close out. We're going to send some love over to another community member. We have Space Valkyries that is live playing Hades.
Oh,
Yes, love it, love it, love it.
Okay.
Oh, that was such a good theme.
Yes, take
Yes.
the rainbows.
good
All the
game, good
rainbows
Yes.
game.
all the time.
So good.
Okay.
And also, Jeff, just a side question. Do we have socials for Smokey?
You can
Do
just
we
you can
have
follow
a
me
Smokey
for
Twitter?
that. I might
Okay.
need to make one because he's been
Yeah.
making some really good faces lately. He
Yes,
stuck his tongue out at me recently, and that was great.
Oh,
Oh gosh.
we need a Smokey Twitter or TikTok, okay? Please, just say
I
it.
think
All
I
right.
might get on that.
Maybe
All
like a
right.
little Chronicles of Smokey versus
Yes.
Bayonetta.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Oh
Yes,
wow.
Just like a little side story.
He disrespects her on the just daily.
All right, let's set up our raid here. All right, thank you everybody so much for being here, and we hope you have a good rest of your day. And please stay cool. All right, it is hot. Drink your water. Stay hydrated. All right, bye everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Dear. Oh, that was perfect.